Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is Capitulation and I hope you're having an amazing new week. Currently it is Monday and let's get right into the charts as we do have a lot to cover right now after Bitcoin has been getting a capitulation move to the downside. As you can see, this is happening right here, right now, guys. The liquidity sweep and grab that I was talking about in my previous videos, it is finally happening. And as I have told you, I am not expecting Bitcoin to make a new all-time high during September. I do not think this has happened historically, and the probability of this happening is very low. And as you can see, Bitcoin is right now rejecting from that POC level. I was potentially expecting a push all the way up to 120k, but we got that rejection firstly from that POC of this range right here that we have been trading since the beginning of July. As you can see, after making a swing failure pattern of the high right here, Bitcoin has been potentially in that downtrend still, and the deepest correction that I am looking at right now would be this low right here at 98k, or the potential deeper correction which is sitting at $93,000, which is where the 0618 Fibonacci golden pocket is sitting. And basically a major correction from the all-time high all the way down to that $93,000 level would be around 24% of a correction, which is equals to $30,000 in price change. And historically, if we go on the weekly time frame for easy access, when Bitcoin has above like $24,000 in price change, then we get a reversal. Right here we had over $30,000, 35,000 of a price move to the downside, and then we had a reversal. If you look at the history, for example, right here we had also $35,000 of a price change, and then we had a reversal from this all-time high. We had $36,000 correction and then a reversal. Then from this high right here we also had $30,000 correction and then a slightly reversal. And if we measure from this point right here to the absolute bottom of the bear market, as you can see, we did have only 9,000, but we did have 37% of a correction. So any correction which is more than $30,000 in price change and above 25 to 30%, it signals that the correction move is potentially over. And this is what I'm looking at right now, potentially for Bitcoin. Of course, this will take some time to play out. We won't see a candle like this to the bottom. Of course, this is not how things work. Basically, since the stock markets are still pushing to the upside, as you can see, the S&P 500 is sitting at a new all-time high today. Gold is also pushing to a new all-time high, reclaiming the weekly pivot. What else should we look at? The dollar still pushing to the upside after this swing failure pattern, basically the bullish swing failure pattern. And right now we are struggling at the weekly R1, but potentially we might flip this downtrend into somewhat of a move like this to potentially break this high right here. We might see some kind of a reaction, but as you know, if the dollar starts pumping, then Bitcoin will easily get that move to the downside that I'm talking about. The Bitcoin dominance is pushing to the upside. Right now it is above the weekly pivot. As you can see, we did reject from those previous high right here, and also this is where our weekly resistance sits, the last R3 basically. So as you can see, this also the altcoins are taking a hit. Ethereum losing that value area low right here, and the next step would be that 4-yearly trendline resistance. If the price of ETH gets above down there potentially, so we form something like this, then it is possible that we retest the low $3,000 zone for Ethereum, and from the all-time high down to the $3,000, that would be considered a correction of around 38%, which would potentially also signal a bottom out for Ethereum. I think the last time that we were in an uptrend, we got 32% of a correction. Right here we got 48%, and here we got 65%. This was basically the deepest correction that we had, where we went down basically in that previous bear market territory from 2022, as you can see. So right now I would potentially for Ethereum be expecting, if we get a correction, to potentially right here, that would be the deepest correction that I would be looking out for, or maybe we don't even go that deep and potentially we go and bounce from that POC, which is sitting at 3,300, and then Ethereum starts pushing towards the upside again. But as of right now, this is what I'm looking out for Ethereum. Now for Solana also having a rejection. As you can see, we did lost that value area low, and Solana did have a significantly bigger move, basically 16%, $40 price change. But we are still above $220. We are still above this very important value area high, as you can see. So as long as we remain above there, I am potentially positive that Solana would do something like this, basically come here, test this value area high, and then test as support, and then we are potentially due for another move to the upside. Hype did break below $50, and if Hype still holds this uptrend right here, then that would be a potential very nice buy zone if you ask me for Hype. As you can see from the low right here, we are holding that trend line still, but if we break down, we might potentially revisit some of those levels right here, which would be $35, which is also a nice buy. Anything below 35 and $30 would be a very nice opportunity to stack on some hype coins. Of course, this is not a financial advice. It is just what I'm thinking of those coins, and that they do have a future. XRP also breaking below, but right now we are back above in that value area low. So XRP still has not gone back into that previous range, which is nice. The pump fund token having a basically move to the downside, very big correction, 38%, but this is normal for the pump token because it had a massive rally to the upside. And basically now if we go back to Bitcoin, we look at the liquidation heat map data, you can see we had that liquidity sitting right here and it got perfectly taken out. As you can see, I told you in the previous video that potentially we did sweep some of the liquidity upside. We might go or we might not, but I said for sure we will go down and sweep this liquidity to the downside. And we do have some more sweeping to do, basically all the way down to 108, 107, 105k. This is where also my very key support level is sitting. I did post on my X page. You can follow me there to see what I post and my charts. The fear and greed index still in that neutral zone, but if we start breaking down, we might go back into that fear. The long versus shorts ratio, overall we do have more sellers in the market for another day, and as you saw yesterday, once the people on Hyperliquid flipped bearish, the next day we get that massive capitulation. So this is some very nice it is some very nice sign to look out for once the Hyperliquid whales start shorting, because as I have noticed, they are flipping before the move happens. So this is something very nice to look out for. The funding rates, if they load, they are still positive on the some of the major exchanges. On Bybit it is flipping negative for now for Bitcoin. We do have the most important news for tomorrow, which is PMI, and Jerome Powell would be speaking. And also we do have unemployment on Thursday. We do have PC on Friday. So this week also very important news to look out for. And yes guys, basically that would be it for today's update video. I hope you liked it, subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.